no. Oh no, Exotic's thinking about it. Alright, let's jump on with Jakub. I'm going to assume he's obviously going to give it a fair whack. Just to give himself a bit of practice on these sort of flying laps. Every lap helps, of course. 17.3 through the first sector, which obviously, as far as the benchmark time goes, is half decent. He's looked rather clean so far. And to the chicane again, getting it slowed down quite nicely. It's tough to accelerate on the way out of there, but he's done very well so far as Jakub there. No major worries or issues as we approach the loop, as it were. Bit of a slingshot of a corner. Good fun when you get it right, that one. And through to turns 10, 11 and 12. Slowing the car down. And this bit flows rather nicely now since they changed the track. Past Latifi corner and up to the final two turns. And Jakub sets the benchmark of 122.7. Who else is out on one? We'll pick up that guy. There we are, next one round. Okay, he's moved aside. Let through Greg, that is. Everyone moving aside for Greg. He will feel like royalty. And so will his Polish football team at the minute. Of course, congratulations to them. And sorry, Wales, I don't feel overly sorry for you. Greg through another 122.7, only 7 thousandths of a second between him and Jakub there. Heck of an effort from Greg there, that one. As Padge was next through, but obviously I think that's just a token lap from him. Deflated is invalidated, which is not what you want to do when you only need to do one lap. Let's see VeloceDragon as he comes down the long straight and obviously into Canes. Turns 6 and 7 through there. Renumbering all the turns and everything like that. It's still tough to get used to from a streamer's perspective. So the reserve Ferrari driver, the Italian in the Italian team, hoping that the car doesn't go bang is the only thing. Wants to be more like a Carlos Sainz last Sunday than he does someone like a Charles Leclerc with a blown out engine. Takes it to third place with a 122.9 there. Let's see. And FlamingoEagle is round at Latifi corner. Hey, first one of the night. Padge, I think, is just doing practice runs, so we might be here all night. Pick up Ayahuasca. Back in the Aston Martin tonight. He goes up to fourth. Of course, Padge as well is obviously our usual AT2 driver. So another AT2 driver stepping up. It's an option that management have made available now, so you may see a couple more AT2 names if there are any free. RedDragon is just keeping it well, keeping it safe at the moment. He hasn't put his energy on, if you're watching. Probably see it flick on in a moment. But no, that's probably just a banker from him. He knows that's not got to be anything good for him there, really. Not opening DRS, just getting himself round. Deflated is having another go. Possibly. He's out on another out lap. VeloceDragon retires. Thank goodness. Notice we've not got any Alpines in tonight. One Williams and no Alpines. It's all right because I know the only bright blue dot is going to be the Williams now. That's quite nice. Easy night's work. Pick up that guy as he has another go at getting a lap. I would presume the first was, first one was backed out of, wasn't it, actually? Following the Aston Martin there, little late dive to the outside. That guy then swinging it through turn 9. And around this triple right-hander now. So that'll take as much curb as he can get away with on turn 10 at least. Oh, he's run it wide. That's invalid. Invalid just before the Latifi corner. And there we go. He's going to have to do it all again as that guy. DeflatedWee, let's pick him up on a lap there. RedDragon obviously went through slightly slower than Padge, but lap is on the board at least. Just waiting for Steinos. Why have you come out? Get back in the pits now. There's DeflatedWee, so comes through in third. Of course, we don't know how much he left on the table there, just in trying to actually get a lap in, but Jakub's 22.7's looking a bit competitive now. Let's jump on with, as I say, one of the drivers we've not seen so far, RemoteBanjo. See what he's got for us. The two new names in the McLarens tonight. Reserves. Yeah, sort of keeping it quite nice and tidy so far, has to be said. Not a massive amount that does look anything untoward from most of these drivers. A few flashing yellows, a few yellow flags, obviously, as they start to retire around in the pits. And RemoteBanjo has gone fastest, has given us a potential representative of his pace tonight. So 22.5, good effort there. It's on the way in. So next round, let's pick up the other McLaren, the other reserve, Raven West. Doesn't that sound epic? He's anywhere near as quick as what his teammate is. Will he be giving it a go, or will he be leaving a bit on the table and sandbagging potentially, I wonder? There we go, a little bit of a shake out of the final corner, but to the line, and it's a McLaren 1-2 at the moment. That's 22.6 for Raven West. Again, obviously a lot of these laps won't be representative, but it's a decent benchmark all the same, decent guide. And there we are, that's Exotic 3. Hello, Willow. Outlaps are alpha quali bands, there's no actual lap. Okay, that's useful. Okay. There we are. So Bjorn to the line. Ooh. Another little bit of a slide. Does split the McLarens on the mediums. Half a tenth off of RemoteBanjo at the moment. Means we do have Rich Energy yet to set one of these. Starting one now. Josh, I think, is going to use the track as his own little private playground, or not set a lap at all. Focus on next game. God. I've not even thought about it. Madness. Rich Energy still going on. We're waiting for the session really to peter out, I think, now. Steinos obviously, of course, can't set a lap. John won't set a lap. Josh is out on track at least. But yes, just waiting for all to finish off now. Last couple of drivers get their laps on the board. Trying not to commit murder. Oh god. Rich Energy up into 4th there. 22.6. Yeah. Very, very good effort. Oh dear. I'm sure there are specialists for that, Willow. FlamingoEagle obviously brings it through the end of Sector 2 and into Sector 3 now. A few turns obviously to navigate for him. Really bumping it along the curb through turn 12 there, but does keep it between the lines on the 4th and 3rd to the last turns. Ooh, big snap there from FlamingoEagle. Just, I'd like to think he's doing it for the stream. They said I was fine. Oh dear. Funny enough, mine said later. Mine didn't say that. Here's Josh up to the line. Josh, I wonder if he's left a bit on the table. I think a lot of drivers probably have, to be fair. Again, you don't need to really push it round here at the moment. Pretty meaningless session all round. I think a lot of drivers have obviously been taking it easy. RemoteBanjo, as I say, at the moment setting the pace. Bjorn did get rather close, within half a tenth on the mediums. And see, of course, he's got a fair bit more in there. Exotic obviously down there in 13th. RedDragon just about made it through as well. Excuse me. Yeah, 15th obviously for him, but again, non-representative laps all round as we approach the bottom. So yeah, McLaren's 1 and 3 with RemoteBanjo and Raven West. The yapping, nobody knows. say, with his Discord profile picture, that should have been a Corley ban alone. Oh, okay. Thank you, RedDragon. That's a useful tip-off. Rich energy. That back end is wiggling about like me after a bit of alcohol. Really, I think struggling to get the pace and get the traction down. Out of this corner, he controls it quite well. Out of the chicane, it can be quite difficult. Then 6 and 7. Aston Martin back there getting out of the way. Oh, Jesus. Commentating through half a yawn most of the night. Oh. Rich energy, keeping it between the lines. Taking 5th gear through those couple of turns there. That's unique. Bold. Not so much shaking as he approaches the line, but the 23.1 is not going to be a time he's too happy with, I'd imagine. No, Rich Energy is going to have a bit more time in there. Where's Greg? 22.8. Let's pick up Jakub as he comes to the line. Next along. And jumps up to a 22.3. Very good attempt of a lap from Jakub. Padge is in there. Deflated's just come across the line, and that guy I think has just started one. So let's pick up FlamingoEagle, who was invalidated. RemoteBanjo is on an outlap. Where are we? Ayahuasca it is. I think he's already backed off. Oh no. Seeing Dutch warfare in the chat. Let's check out Padge. What's our guy Padge doing? See where he gets to through 2 sectors. So, make a call on how good he's really doing there. It's 53.8 through 2. Does look like he's just about holding on quite well. There's again likely to be a bit more pace, but just getting the car around in one piece is always a focus. Came down in as far as 4th gear and he's run it very wide. I think he must have come off the power to get that lap. It stood with 24.0. It's not going to be anything of any substance, I'd imagine, but it's well, it's a tie with the board at least for Padge. The Eagle ducks into the pits, so it's going to be Bjorn next to take on a lap. VeloceDragon is on an outlap as well. Let's watch Bjorn. Let's follow him around, see what he's got. Imagine, as I say, have a time up his sleeve a bit better than the one he set in Q1, but again, most drivers would. RemoteBanjo has finished his lap as a 23.2, so definitely not at the stage he was at the end of Q1. Bjorn really starting to put that hammer down. 52.4 through 2 sectors. You may remember that's 1.4 seconds quicker than where Padge was. That's That's an entire tier's difference of pace. Makes his way towards the line, does Björn, just about holding on. There's a 21.7. That's a stonking lap from Björn. Very, very good. Pick up VeloceDragon though, next round to come and finish off the lap. A little bit of a wiggle out of the final turn, but comes up to third with a 22.6. And Raven West are... Oh, he's invalidated. So, we'll take that Papaya McLaren straight back into the pits. To prepare for run number 2, I believe, by the looks of that. Got Exotic on the lap, and we've got RedDragon preparing to start one as well. So, anyone fancying a lesson in the driving of Abu Dhabi? Here you go. Exotic, your championship leader, of course, your winner of the last race out in Bahrain. He's got the strategy smarts and he's got the pace, of course, to go with it. Really just clinging on. Just clinging on to the white line as he goes under the tunnel and through the final couple of turns. Eye on flat out, of course, these now after the reprofiling. And Exotic up to second. 1.3 slower than Björn there. Still some on the table. There's a gap in favour of Björn. And there's RedDragon. It's 53.0 through 2 sectors. He has left himself about 0.6 slower than where Björn was, but it's definitely keeping up well. Could put possibly some of the midfield on edge. Just clinging on to the white line as he exits the Latifi corner. Throws it through the final corner. The 23.0 might well have a couple of drivers on notice at the end of this session here. A very, very good lap from RedDragon as Greg gone up to 4th. .5 from Greg. He must be loving it around here at the moment. Björn retires out. I imagine probably Exotic might follow. There's Josh as he comes around to complete his lap. Björn's teammate, of course. Gets out to 5th place, 22.5, but does find himself below Greg. I do think that through this season, Greg has come on in leaps and bounds, really. Obviously, I know he's always in NA, being the sort of the consistent driver, really challenging bottom of points, but in this season, there's been visible improvement in AT1 for him. Might sound slightly patronising, but you can definitely see him creeping up the leaderboards a little bit. Have we got anything else actually of interest on track? Here's Rich Energy. As Deflated did complete that lap, he went up to 3rd, and Rich Energy to 5th. It's taking the best part of 7/10 off of his time there, and that leaves RedDragon on the cusp. Still with FlamingoEagle to set one, still with that guy to set a representative time. Still with Raven West as well to have a go. See, that sector 1 is obviously one of those where there's a few kind of slightly uneventful corners, isn't there? Bjorn took pole with China. Okay, I've announced a bad stat. Good slipstreaming from the Alfa Romeo guys. Okay, FlamingoEagle will be very thankful for that from Jakub. Timed that very well. China wasn't forgettable, I don't know what you mean. So the government would have you locked up for that. No, we're not going to have any regimal comments. Never mind. Never mind. It's FlamingoEagle progressing on well. And only up to 11th though, but he has just jumped RedDragon by 0.004 of a second. But that is going to be it as far as his qualifying is concerned, unless he can pull an absolute rabbit out of the hat here. But with a minute to go, not fancying it, just having done his fast lap there. Honestly, I won't forget China. The day I was told not to back up through the final sector. There we go. So RemoteBanjo at the moment, who we are watching as he comes around the final couple of sectors, he is nearly 5/10 up on the time that he's produced at the moment, and he does need this one. 4 drivers on track will leave us at the end of this session. At the moment, RemoteBanjo is one of them. Teammate Raven West is also one of them. RedDragon FlamingoEagle also in trouble. RemoteBanjo has produced a time getting up to 6th, and that should see him safe, you'd imagine. Josh might potentially be shuffling the backside a little bit there. VeloceDragon, what's he got? Any improvement? Improvement it is. It's 7th, and Josh is in trouble. FlamingoEagle, as I say, I think that is session over for him. He's gone. Where is RedDragon? He is following Ayahuasca. Oh, Ayahuasca's big drop there as he's come under the tunnel. He's come off, and that's it for Ayahuasca. Raven West's only managed 11th, which means it's RedDragon. Has he got any improvement in there? He has, and he's made Q3 on his AT1 debut, and he's taken out Josh, the one-time champion of this division. Huge effort from RedDragon. Reserving in AT1 for the first time, and can he mix it with the big boys? He certainly can. The 2 Italian dragons have got through. Of course, commiserations to Ayahuasca, as somebody unfortunately has got to be sacrificed on the way to Raven West and Josh. Unfortunate and unlucky for Ayahuasca with a big conk of the curb and a drop as he came round turn 13. Unlucky for him. RedDragon with a storming lap there to get himself into Q3. Let's be honest, if this is anything to go by, AT2 will be an absolute breeze for him come Sunday. Ewan tops the timesheets, leading from Exotic and from Deflated. Jakub in 4th, Rich Energy 5th, RemoteBanjo 6th, the Italian Dragons VeloceDragon and RedDragon 7th and 8th. That guy 9th and Greg 10th. And we lose Josh, Raven West, Ayahuasca, FlamingoEagle and Padge. Willow, I hate it when you're right. Honestly, if it's not a 21.4, I'll be surprised. Oh, God. Imagine. Yeah, on comms when you remember, that kind of thing. There we are. So that guy's practically done a racing lap to get himself round to the start line, first of all. And he will kick us off with the runs in Q3. Instantly did look a touch wide through turn 1 there. But, it's seeming to keep a reasonable pace to it. 17.4 again. Nothing unspectacular. It's pretty much the same as some of these other guys. See how he is through turn 6 and 7, the chicane. And again, seeming nice and controlled through there. Not getting on the throttle too early at all. .0 through 2 sectors. We know we've seen quicker through there. 0.6 banker. Oh, that guy. That could not have got much closer. He's staring right down the line there. There could not have been a massive margin of error at all on the line he took. But there is there. And he invalidates, and it leaves it to Greg to put up the benchmark time of a 22.2. Solid there, and Rich Energy follows in 4/10 behind. That is RemoteBanjo in third. At the moment, we know he's got more in the locker. Jakub goes fastest with a 22.1. Deflated now, about to come around and potentially spoil that party, and he's not going to. Fifth place for Deflated, so again, I'd imagine there's a mistake of sorts that's happened along the way there. Björn is now going to come to the line. And Björn does top the timesheets for now. That's a 21.7 again. So far, still just under 4/10 quicker than Jakub, the next car down. Join on to RedDragon, see just how he can do through these final sector and a half or so. Ooh. That is scary. That is a scary thing to watch. And the Ferrari does duck out of the way in the end, so RedDragon will have a clear run at this final sector as long as he doesn't catch that traffic too quickly. Or as long as the traffic gets out of the way. There's a certain prowess about this beautiful Italian. And to the line, RedDragon into 6th there. Does jump Deflated. Very good there. That's not one that you'd have expected to have seen at the beginning of the quali session. And Exotic, where is he at, I wonder? Usual, looking like that car is on absolute rails. Through the final turn, up to the line, hanging on to the line, and a 21.6. Willow has called it as a banker. Oh, wow. Get this guy a medal or something. Oh, that guy invalidates again. He's going to have to just pack it in and go for a second run eventually, I think. If polls now of 21.4, Willow, I'm coming to your house for a tarot reading. Oh my, I was going to have to do one that Snacks sorts out later on. I've definitely got absolutely no power over the channel points. I'm just a kid on an Xbox. Hit your POV for that one. Don't know. The whole lap one, or just the start? You're going to be at the back, though. I think I'd prefer to give you points back. We'll see. We'll see if they go separately enough. Maybe if Exotic goes and then Deflated goes, and then Bjorn goes in front of him. Yeah, if Exotic is going first, Bjorn's going after. And say if they ended up one behind the other, if I could get to the onboard of the one who's behind. Oh, Greg! Ooh, an abrupt stop at Latifi corner for him. RedDragan has retired out of the session. He's possibly not going to have enough time to actually do anything now, and obviously Greg with his spin, that did cost him a good attempt of a lap there. That guy I think is recharging. He must have had an error somewhere. He's going to have another go. And that's going to be his one and only lap. Let's jump on with Rich Energy because he's just got started. 6th place at the moment is a decent benchmark for him. He's just above RedDragan though. RedDragan possibly will have him in his sights. There's a lot of chat that I do not understand in the chat at the minute. Oh, perfectly choreographed. There's the Alpha Tauris. But now... here we go, Exotic. And this is the run. Willow, you win because Exotic made it first. And let's see him through. It's final Q3 run. And he is a couple of hundredths slower through the first sector. He did look like a minor slide as he entered the hairpin as well. Definitely does look like it's reasonably quick still. Of course, it's not going to be slow when it's Exotic. Manages to get it stopped and going again. The small kinklet is turn 8. And last time I think I did on board of Exotic, he didn't get the pole. He is 200ths up this time. Controlling it well as he the tunnel turns 13 and 14, and it looks natural on board. To the line. An Exotic. Oh my god, Willow. Oh my god, what have you done? Oh my god. Björn goes second with a 21.5, but... Willow, what? All that, and I've completely missed the fact that look at 7th and 8th. RemoteBanjo and RedDragon have done exactly the same time as well. What a mad session. Oh my word. Top 9 within 8/10 of each other. Exotic gets the pole on Willow's psychic brain. Björn second, Jakub third. It was an impressive quality session for Jakub there with a 21.9 as well. Fantastic stuff. It's going to be great to see him mixing it again with some of the very, very top of the championship. So we are very, very close to the beginning of this race. And yeah, RedDragon's put timers on. Any predictions in chat as the race starts to unfold? I'm going for a win for Steinos Reeks. No pressure. Here we are. Onto the grid. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 red lights. And we are away for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And I think Björn has got away very, very well. On the inside, he's going to be side by side with Exotic. Exotic holds it around the outside. Little bit of wheel banging. Jakub, I think, is waiting patiently behind. And most of them seem as if they are safely through the first couple of corners, except for FlamingoEagle, who has come off. Side by side is Björn and Exotic again. Björn with the outside line this time as they come through the hairpin. And a little bit of shaking about back there. A little bit further down the field. Jakub, I think, is looking to get the toe, get the slipstream on Exotic. And Exotic's going to throw it to the inside. And Björn able to defend just about, but Exotic squeezes through on the exit of turn 7. Side by side all the way through. And they're going to be the same again as they come around turn 9 now. Long, long turn this one. Björn eventually settles for a front row view of the gearbox of Exotic. Spent most of the first lap side by side, these two. It's impressive, very, very impressive. The only driver who hasn't started on a hard tyre is Rich Energy. Gone for the mediums, the very much alternative strategy here. The rest of them all, well, comparatively boring. There we are. It's going to start to be, I think, Exotic and Björn just maybe getting away a little bit now that they've stopped fighting each other. Jakub is keeping in tow well. And Deflated obviously is also in and around. RedDragon obviously hasn't had the best of starts, dropping down to 10th. Little look from Björn, but nothing doing as they come into the chicane. RedDragon, I think, is on the back of that guy at the minute. Come down a little bit further down the field to Exotic's teammate. I imagine this might start to get a little bit interesting at the front, especially when DRS is activated. Josh there, he hasn't really been able to break the back of his particular task at the moment, but he's side by side, wheel to wheel with Raven West as they come through 10, 11 and 12. And has just about, as he kept both cars on the road there. Exotic obviously fastest lap again for him. Rich Energy approaching and being approached, I think, back there at the moment. DRS is online, and so everyone, I think, except FlamingoEagle, Ayahuasca, and of course Exotic at the front, May well have it. And John and Raven West have changed places now. Raven West obviously has had it in reverse gear, I think, since the very beginning. And Björn blitzes past Exotic. Absolutely no debate about who's going into turn 6 and 7 ahead. Gets that done comfortably under the DRS, but Exotic will have a chance to get back now. And just as comfortably, Exotic retakes the lead. Routine, isn't it? Josh had a moment back there. He's just dropped a couple of positions. Have a look. Where is he? He is behind Steinos and behind Raven West. The last two challenge isn't going as well for John as he might well have wanted, but for Steinos it's looking a lot better. Back to the very front of the DRS train where we follow Exotic, who in turn has everyone else following him. And approaching at a fair rate of knots there was Björn off of the first couple of turns or so, but he will of course get his chance on the DRS. I wonder if there will be a moment where he does decide to dump the battery on the second DRS zone and you know, actually try and make a bit of a move. Oh, Exotic really getting close to the back end of Björn there. That was monumentally close, but well kept out there, and I think Björn might have chosen his moment. He's kept ahead. Will he be able to put the hammer down and really get away from Exotic here now? He's got to use that. Oh, yeah, you've got to feel. So, what's that? Raven West, Steinos. Steinos having half a look. They came through turn 10, oh, turn 12, sorry. That will compromise his line a little bit, but it's still him and Raven West ahead of Josh, and it's given RedDragon a good gap as well. He's not necessarily getting closer to the cars in front, but he is obviously getting further away from those behind. Medium soft is possible, we're saying. Okay, well, so we're saying Rich Energy is somebody with balls of steel. We know Rich Energy has got balls of steel. Yeah, he could be on for a move back there, actually. Of course, the DRS train is in full operation. It's keeping pretty much everyone where they are. I imagine Björn's wings are either very, very low, or they're normal and he's just dumping battery again. No real battery deployment. But I think he might be about to take his medicine from the Red Bull driver, but he's parked it absolutely in the middle of the racing line. Fair play to him. Looking a bit further back, Raven West and Steinos swapping positions. Oh, that could have been big. Raven West just losing it on the curbs as he tried to accelerate. He's managed to completely outbrake himself into turn 12 as well. So he's lost his positions to John and to Josh. But it could have ended up being a whole lot worse had he not saved that drop whilst he was alongside Steinos on the curbs out of turn 9. That was close. You almost destroyed your seat, Willow. Here it goes. I think Raven West's having a little bit of a go back there as well, just as he's just gaining under DRS a fair bit. I wonder if he's experiencing a good bit of traction there at the moment. John has just overtaken his teammate Steinos. So next target for him, the NA champ, is One of the top drivers in AT2 at the moment, RedDragon. The dark horse, as he were. Funny if he does get a point. No longer belongs to you. It does in spirit, Willow. It does. And I think McLaren, I think Willow. There we go. So, really, obviously, the race stabilising a bit within DRS trains at the moment. But it does look like Rich Energy is going to be the first under pressure as they hit this particular round, lap 7 of the DRS zone. Exotic, I think, might be... Oh, definitely was having a look, but decided to save that one for another day. Rich Energy. RemoteBanjo not really making any progress on him at the moment. And here goes Exotic. He's got it up alongside Björn, and he's got it through on Björn. And it's the natural evolutionary course of this race that was going to happen at some point, isn't it? I imagine we'll see a few more trades for first position before the race is out. Interestingly, Jakub and co. still keeping well with these guys behind as well. It's usually... Oh, just as I say that, commentator's curse. Jakub has gone very, very wide and lost his third position. Could that be the just the mistake that Björn and Exotic needed to break DRS? Not quite. Deflated, I think, is going to still form the front of the DRS train. Jakub, more than thinking about a move again, I think, here. He's got some pace. Exclamation mark curse has happened in the chat. Björn, there we are, through on Exotic. Exotic does a real good job of tailing Björn that closely, honestly. No mean feat doing that. On board with Exotic as he goes through the inside this time. Dinos has got a time penalty. Exotic has got the lead. And Björn again, limited answer for a move like that. As Padge and IIRL trade places at the back there. Again, even with Jakub's mistake, yeah, I've still kept deflated within DRS at the moment, and along with him, the whole top 10, pretty much, are within that same DRS train. RedDragon will be pushing to try and keep a hold of the drivers ahead of him. FlamingoEagle next to have a 3-second time penalty applied to the end of his race. Still going to look very interesting as we come down this next straight. Lap 9, Björn once again dumping Exotic without too much thought. Does cut across rather vigorously, let's say. So he retakes the lead by the braking zone. But as is per standard round Abu Dhabi, without much of a sweat, Exotic gets back the lead. Oh, but does he? Björn has held it on the inside this time. Had a real go, and I think he's still there. Just had more than a thought about holding it to the inside of turn 10, but thought wiser than that and decided to keep his race going for another few laps. Could have been all over if he'd tried that. Telemetry? I'm not allowed to put telemetry on. Not in the race. I can in quali. Rich Energy is also pressuring Jakub here. Jakub might almost feel like he has got to get that move made on Deflated. If not, he could be in trouble from Rich Energy, whose tyres obviously might start to be living a slightly more limited life in the next few laps or so. Exotic has held Bjorn off this time. Let's see if he manages that through the second DRS zone. And he doesn't, and Bjorn does take the lead again. Lead's changing almost every lap here. Still got a fair army of cars that are ready behind these guys, connected to the DRS train. Willow, I might. POTD, psychic of the day. Just for his quality predictions, just for that. Really just ebbing and flowing. We have an off in Sector 1. I think it was Ayahuasca might have had a brief moment there. Bjorn has kept it up in front of Exotic through the first DRS zone. That was a good exit from Deflated there. Incredible exit. He was more than pushing Exotic. He could have a chance here. Is he going to have a go? Through turn 9, he's not in a position to do so in the end. Exotic, I think, might be running slightly lower wings. Deflated with a barnstorming exit there. You'd imagine he'd have got that move done, but no dice. No cigar, as it were. John has overtaken RedDragon, taken him out of the points. Bit of a battle going on behind him as starts to form a little bit of a cork in the bottle in this race. Still, Bjorn leads us. Starting to again get a little bit of a gap. It's edging away from these guys as Ayahuasca pits in. 11 laps on those hard tyres is all he could take. Bjorn again, minor lock up. I think you could just hear as he came in on the front wing cam. And Steinos and Josh changing places there, but right now we could have a change for the lead again. Not quite on there. And Exotic, I think, just again keeps himself going. He knows the drill. You know you've got to be slightly patient, of course. Ayahuasca had gone on to the mediums, so could see it through to the end of the race, but could be running on carcass by the end of it. So Steinos a little bit wide. Out of the Latifi corner, just holding on to the line a little bit longer than some other drivers do. Start to have a little bit of a break away from VeloceDragon away from VeloceDragon in 7th there. RemoteBanjo's managed to produce a little bit of pace in the McLaren to break the DRS there. Start to have the DRS trains going in slightly different directions in their own ways. Someone ends up doing a Latifi, yeah, that's entirely possible. Imagine if that guy does a Latifi. It'd just be uncanny. Goodness, half a second separating the top three. Bjorn, Exotic and Deflated, who did have comparatively a miserable qualifying session. He's making up for it in the race here. Doing very, very well currently. Rich Energy there, that's not what he needed. 3 seconds worth of time penalties, and I think he's going to make his way into the pits, and it's going to be set hard tyres for the rest of the race for him. And RemoteBanjo also making his way in. As does... oh no. Right, he's going to have to wait for the Jackman. He's going to have to run him over. Uh-oh. Slight double stack threat there at McLaren, but both of them I think have got out alive and well. Didn't slow Raven West down too much, I don't think there, but some earlier stops coming in. Of course, a bit of ebbing and flowing with the gaps here, but the top 4 have got away a bit now. RemoteBanjo and Rich Energy might be trying to use that as an undercut opportunity. But yeah, the top 4 now separated from the rest of the pack, which is headed by Greg at the moment. No Lance Stroll. Insert Lance Stroll. And there are some pitters. So Deflated has, well, sorry, Jakub has gone with Exotic, and so has Greg. Deflated and Bjorn keep going. RedDragon's got a track limits penalty. Where are Exotic and Jakub going to end up here? I wonder. Looking for a comparison between where they are and where RemoteBanjo and Rich Energy are at the moment. Padge has let them through rather kindly. He's running a different race. And there is Exotic. And he is out ahead still. But look at that. Rich Energy and RemoteBanjo both have jumped Jakub. And it proves Exotic could not have really left that any longer than what he did. VeloceDragon's up into 3rd as he takes that guy in the chicane, but that guy's coming back at him as well. Gonna have side-by-side action, are we? Nearly. Oh, a little bit of a cutback from VeloceDragon. He's trying to thread the needle there. Hasn't quite managed it, and that guy with the shorter line. Oh! That out of nowhere from VeloceDragon. What a move. Unexpected to say the least. Fantastic move to get past that guy. That was a cracker of a move there. Bjorn-esque from last week at the hairpin, turn 8 in Bahrain. Lead 2 have kept going. Bjorn and Deflated both running their own races at the moment. Exotic is up into 4th then, obviously, with that guy with VeloceDragon, with Steinos, with Padge all having pitted. Of course, Padge not really a factor in that. Exotic starting to build a little bit of a gap now, and I think this could potentially have been the pit stop that has ruined Jakub's race. Fastest on hards. Yeah, you do make a point. Rich Energy has just done the fastest lap, and he is on hard tyres. I don't know if I mentally glossed over that. There's Jakub. He's having a look at the back of RemoteBanjo, but as I say, that the undercut from Rich Energy and RemoteBanjo is looking very, very good at the moment. Wonder whether Bjorn and Deflated are hanging it out for some softs. They're going to come in now. I think that might be a little bit soon for those. What's going on that Ferrari, I wonder? It's a set of mediums. No real drama there then. Just a bit of offset to help them out. Josh has stayed out. He keeps going. Which means the only other hard runner on the track is Rich Energy at the moment. John goes fastest on those mediums, 24.8. The race's fastest lap. Exotic has been able to build himself a gap. Björn and Deflated out in 6th and 7th respectively. And they have got that offset, but you've got to think that catching Exotic is always a big ask. Meanwhile, the train here, Rich Energy has been passed by RemoteBanjo, and he could be next victim of Jakub as well. That guy gets past Raven West back there as well, but we're still watching. Can Rich Energy get his revenge? Not quite. I think the tyres will come to him at a later stage of this race, I'd imagine. Good effort so far on the hards, though. Is he looking up the side there? He wasn't going to try a VeloceDragon move. No way. Oh, imagine. Could this be absolute teammate stuff? It's not. He's not done the team game. And RemoteBanjo now finds himself running 2nd after a cracking undercut. He really wasn't that far at the time away from getting 1st position, really. He does also find himself with Rich Energy and Jakub both lodged to the back end of his car. Could they both go through here, I wonder? Rich Energy's going to make his way. Jakub is going to make his way. And they both have squeezed out RemoteBanjo, and that's how quickly it can change. I think Jakub's exit was very much to write home about. And, Rich Energy currently finds himself running 2nd. There is some insane racing going on here, and the fact that these guys are in it is something I love to see. Just some new names to talk about. Of course, I don't want them to fight too much because Exotic gets away, but could be a fun battle for the last couple of steps of the podium. Björn has taken fastest lap. Jakub's internet has sent him here, there, and everywhere, and Björn and Deflated joined the battle on some tyres that are a couple of laps younger than what Jakub has got on. And about 3 laps younger than those of RemoteBanjo and Rich Energy. Here we go. Any move on here, I wonder? Got to fancy it. Jakub might well be getting his 2nd place back. He does. And looking behind there, RemoteBanjo has a look on Björn. And RemoteBanjo runs wide and does get passed by Deflated as well. So 2 positions down there, RemoteBanjo. Jakub is under pressure from Rich Energy, who sweeps into turn 9 and cuts off Jakub's line to retake 2nd place. But Björn and Deflated are a menacing sight among this group now. Oh my goodness. Willow's the chaser now. The statistician. Haven't lost... Yeah, no, haven't lost a massive amount. 2.5 seconds isn't the end of the world on that offset, but... Oh! Björn going for a spicy move. It'd been good if he'd have got it done, but all he's done really there is compromised his line out of the corner and down the longest straight on the track. And there's Jakub through on Rich Energy, and Deflated and Bjorn are going to both have a look. Deflated in there. Rich Energy has been eased out. Lost 2 positions again. 3 positions make that, sorry, because Jakub. DRS swap and sub. And there goes Bjorn on Jakub for second. He gets his second place back now, and Jakub's still running well in third, though. Gosh, as if nothing's changed at all, you see. Top 6 exactly the same. Bjorn, as I say, I'd imagine he'll be wanting to use those tyres now to their full effect, and that couple of laps of extra life that he's got in those could be used to get at Exotic. Will have to fend off DRS threat from behind for a couple of laps or so, but he's already pulling Exotic in at a fair rate of knots. A couple of tenths just in that first sector alone. Quick look back down here as Raven West's crawling all over the back of Steinos, and I think Steinos has pretty much let him go there. Jakub was fast approaching the back of Bjorn's car, but nothing doing, and Bjorn really, with the traction he can get out of the chicane, absolutely just no match for Jakub, at all. RemoteBanjo also makes his way through on Rich Energy. Those two starting to have their own little fight a bit now. And still a minute amount of time between Deflated and Jakub, who's holding things off well. Hello, Snacks, on the official account, the IIRL League account. How are you? This race is kind of blitzed by. It's a bit like 4D chess at the minute. Just it's going to be, well, whoever can avoid the DRS for the longest, really, as we approach the end of the race. And Bjorn really is reeling in Exotic on those newer medium tyres. He has made massive inroads into the advantage that Exotic once held. 1.1 seconds and coming down all the time as Bjorn potentially gears himself up for a win. Oh, Willow, tell him. There we are, Deflated. And Jakub is side by side through turn 9. Both of them blinking, needing a bit of energy. Jakub, I think, has just about lost out there. Deflated setting himself up nicely with a brilliant move outside to turn 9. And Jakub's stout defence is broken. Look back down the field, and Greg, I think, has been off over the curbs. Has lost a couple of positions there. VeloceDragon and that guy racing close to him. Looking at Rich Energy and RemoteBanjo still having a tuggle, bit of a tussle as well. Definitely not having a tuggle. And look at this. I said it was 1.1 seconds at about this point last lap. Exotic is in big trouble now. As Bjorn reels him in and reels him in. This is going to look like the first part of the race all over again. RemoteBanjo changes positions once more as well. John's in there in 7th. That guy is just about... Oh! That guy really coming in very, very slowly into the chicane and getting a ram up the backside by VeloceDragon as a result. Meanwhile, the lead has changed hands once more. Bjorn retaking the head of the field. RemoteBanjo and Rich Energy having a go at it as well. And suddenly there's so much happening I can't quite keep up. VeloceDragon has got his position back. It's after a potentially scary moment with the back of that guy's car. But Björn, all hats off to him because he is the strategy master this week. Still got to defend as the DRS for the last few laps, but oh, and Raven West has gone out. He's gone into the pits and retired. Okay. Oh, there we are. That's approaching at a fair rate of knots again. Probably about halved Björn's advantage as Exotic down the DRS straight. This is the big one, and of course, traction is everything. Out of turn 6 and 7, the chicane, and Björn's managed to stay ahead. No reason he can't do that again a few more times before the end of the race. Rich Energy and RemoteBanjo have both been joined by John now as well. He could be looking potentially to clear these. Whether he gets to the back of the top 4 before the race is over, if he clears them, is another matter. But definitely a chance for top 5 for John here. Should I be broadcasting that, Willow? I don't think they're, I don't think anyone wants to see them doing that on stream. There's a different site for that. The penny. I heard it from here. There we go. Björn extending that advantage so much. He's done really well on those newer medium tyres. RemoteBanjo's had a go and got his move on Rich Energy again. Deflated really could be in with a chance of taking second place off of Exotic if he's not careful. Again, atoning for a real stinker of a quali session. Oh, and we've got 3 going into 1 at the moment here. As turn 9 approaches, Rich Energy gets through. John squirreling on the inside on the way out of turn 9, not able to make his move on RemoteBanjo. And the more he follows these guys, the more he'll see any chance of seeing the top 4 by the end of the race slip away from him. Other adult sites are available, as Willow says. Well, there we go. So braking a bit of toe braking back down there now. I wonder, as I say, I wonder if Deflated will get his chance. RedDragon's come in to try and get fastest lap. RemoteBanjo's through again. Oh, Rich Energy having to bail out. Nearly did absolutely clobber the back of RemoteBanjo. Did well to get out of that, but John now, you'd imagine, will make a sitting duck of him as he comes up to turn. Oh, turn 9, no space given at all by Rich Energy as he came in. A little bit naughty, I'd say, almost there. VeloceDragon as well, looking down the order. He's still got that guy, Greg, and Steinos behind him as well. A little bit of a gaggle fighting for those final couple of points. I did think that was as I say, that turn-in on turn 9 was a little bit naughty. Kind of borderline naughty from Rich Energy there. John was almost almost up alongside. That could have been Could have been an accident. Crisis averted, of course, by John. Steinos was considering having a little bit of a go into the hairpin. Might get a bit of a better chance at the very end of the straight as he comes through. And John comes in. And he has taken both cars in one go this time. But I fancy it's too little too late now for him, though. He'd have wanted to have had that done at least 3 laps ago to really have had a chance at getting towards the top 4. But those have got away from him as the laps have gone by. Now an 8-second gap where there once was a gap of all the 4.5 seconds. Still line of stern with the top 4 though, and still Jakub keeping brilliant pace with the guys here. You've got your championship leader in 2nd place. You've got 2nd in the championship in 1st place. You've got that guy off. Oh, is he? Oh no. We're not going to see what happened to him. He has retired out. But I do wonder if he has. I wonder if he has. Wink, wink. I guess we'll never know. RemoteBanjo then looking at the back of John's Mercedes once more. Fighting for a top 5 position now. Of those two, as Rich Energy with that 3-second penalty is looking to be out of the running. Exotic, I think, has found almost a 2nd wind in those tyres as Björn's rubber starts to go off a little bit. We're approaching the final lap of the race. That'd be the least opportune time for Björn to start falling into the clutches of the Red Bull. Half a second separates them as they cross the line to start the final lap. Half a second back to DeflatedWee also. Will there be any position changes of any note between now and the end of this race, I wonder? It's flipped back and forth, but this is the lap that counts. Exotic on the charge. Coming up to the back of Björn. He's gone for the inside. He's put his car there. He's going to get better traction here unless Björn can cut him off. He's put him up on the curb here. Deflated's all sniffing around now. We're 3 wide potentially towards turn 9. Björn has had to take his medicine and lose the lead. And Exotic has saved it all up for that final lap. And my goodness, has he made it work well. Ayahuasca takes fastest lap. There they are. That's a side note, footnote to the Grand Prix there. Exotic, after almost making it look like it was race over, has taken the win in Abu Dhabi. Björn in 2nd. Deflated 3rd and Jakub 4th. Those 4 were in a class of their own. John crosses the line in 5th. RemoteBanjo, first time we've seen him this season, crosses in 6th. VeloceDragon claims 7th place with Rich Energy's penalty going on. Greg getting 8th as well. Rich Energy eventually ending up in 9th. Josh 10th. Steinos 11th. Padge will come round for 12th. Oh, he's left again. It's done the glitch. There's Padge through. He will obviously end up in 12th. RedDragon, 13th place. Does fail to take fastest lap as well. That's Ayahuasca's doing. FlamingoEagle final car over the line in what will be 14th place. Well. I think Exotic really kind of, well, sold us all up the river a bit there. It has to be said. Bjorn really was, well, looking like he was all over that race, but it ended up being Exotic who'd saved everything up to the final lap, and he gave it his go. So another win for a seemingly unstoppable force in ExoticPla1ns. Takes yet another win and goes yet another step closer to becoming champion. Bjorn did cross the line in second, but of course we've got a glitch in the game, you know, great game and all that. Deflated's third, Jakub was fourth, John was fifth, RemoteBanjo 6th, VeloceDragon in P7, Greg 8th, Rich Energy 9th, Josh rounded out the top 10 after starting just outside it. Lost Raven West there. That guy came in and retired as well. But well. Another in the books. It's Abu Dhabi. You kind of always know what's going to happen, really, when it comes to the battling and where the battling's going to happen. But another 4D chess match. Just when you think Exotic's down and out, just pull something like that. It's easy for him. That'll be all for this week. Of course, next week we are in France. Lovely stuff. So it is the circuit Paul Ricard that we've put on. And it's a sprint race as well, that one, so might end up being just a little bit of a quicker stream than usual. Sprint week, 2 weeks in a row. Of course, we have still got Abu Dhabi for AT2 to watch as well, and whilst I won't be racing, it will surely be a great occasion. You know, RedDragon, obviously, who you saw tonight, is going to be looking to produce some points for the Williams team and reduce the arrears to Johnny B at the top of that championship. So that's the next IIRL stream. France starts next week with NA on Tuesday, and obviously back with us AT1 on the 4th of April. We'll see you all next week.